keep hearing about this border stuff is not that hard. We either have one or we don't. Now, the definition of a border, as defined by dictionary.com, is border, noun. The line, limit, or delimiting geographic feature that separates one country, state, or province from another. Now, dictionary.com also uses it in a sentence, quote, "You cannot cross the border without a visa." They seem to understand it. But you see why the left hates defining things? I also subscribe to the notion that American lives, our citizens and the well-being of our nation's legal residents should in fact be prioritized over people not residing here. More than 20 of my veteran brothers and sisters kill themselves every single day. Many more are homeless. So sorry, forgive me for caring less about some people who are breaking our laws to get into the country than those that were willing to die for it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, you open border wackos. This is not a social issue. This is a matter of rule of law. The people just deciding not to enforce border regulations don't have the authority to do so. The law I'm referring to simply states the job of the President of the United States, for one, is to, quote, faithfully execute the laws of Congress. Now, last time I checked, the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, Customs and Border Protection, they ultimately all work for the president. So why are people flowing across the border like an open highway lane? And beyond that, it's drugs. This is a matter of life and death. And even the voice of Occupy Democrats, far-left Occupy Democrats, who we had on yesterday, agreed with this. Look.
What about fentanyl? What about fentanyl? It's ravaging our
because it's going to help my side in the election.
Well, one at a time. 15 seconds left. Last word to you, Grant. But the fentanyl you brought up, how about we close the border where it's coming through?
Illegal crossings are dropped at the border?
There was enough fentanyl seized at the southern border to kill every man, woman, and child in America just last year. And that's just what we caught. That's what we know about. Do Democrats value their agenda over American life? Well, yeah, it seems like it. And this is why people are so angry. Don't give me this virtue signaling on this one, Libs. You scream to high heavens about Republicans not caring about kids because you want to take away our guns, but do absolutely jack squat with the fentanyl crisis. In 2022, it was the leading cause of death in young Americans, and you couldn't care less. Beyond drugs, forget human trafficking. That goes even further. Let's look at the sheer volume of migrants and what it's doing to America, especially in the border towns. We've seen all these elected officials like Mayor Eric Adams and Gavin Newsom's look down from their ivory tower and say, we're a sanctuary city, state, town, or whatever. Come give us all your migrants. And then the second they get a few migrants, like Martha's Vineyard got like 2 dozen, 3 dozen, a mere fraction of what Texas and other border states are getting, they freak out and they deport them or they beg for federal aid. You see how this works? Beyond that, there's only 68 immigration courts in America. The Biden administration has seen as much as 250,000 border crossings a month. Sure, they're reporting less now, only because of how they selectively record their data based on this new app, but the border's no more secure. Make no mistake. The fact is, and the crossings are generally decreased in the summer anyway due to the heat because it's the desert. Have you ever been to court, folks? I have. It's not exactly a well-oiled machine. And basic math tells me that the system can't handle what's being thrown at them. 250,000 migrants a month divided by 68 courts. That's 3,676 cases per month per court, or 122 a day. You tell me a government court system that is efficient enough to handle that. If you can, I guarantee you Elon Musk will clone that technology for his next company. No way, Kimosabe. That is not happening. And the one guy actually willing to do something about it, Governor Greg Abbott, is being sued by the Biden administration for doing the job that the feds should be doing. They're suing Greg Abbott for putting floating barriers in the Rio Grande to deter people from swimming across the river illegally. Look, I don't care what the Biden administration says. At this point, I don't even really care about what the courts say, but this is life and death. The law is that the border must be secured. If the feds want to try to stop you, Governor Abbott, I would caution them to get in the way of one of your Cat 338 excavators doing its job. Keep putting those barriers up. I would say issue arrest warrants for any federal officer impeding on your process. You're doing their job for them, by the way. They should be thanking you, if not at the bare minimum helping. And feds, you want to be a part of the solution? Great, by all means. We'd love to have you help with this. It's your job. But you want to bring your Gestapo crew down there and allow people to flood the state of Texas? No thanks. Get lost. Is it legal? Who knows? I don't know. Nothing is legal anymore. I mean, court, you can get a court to say whatever you want, but it's certainly not legal for the feds to not do their job. Maybe Congress should stop paying them. But that would change things. And look, my point is that we either have a border or we don't. I said it in the beginning. People are literally dying. Towns are getting overrun. The system is breaking. It's got to be stopped. Unfortunately, my hopes for change are low, especially when the nation's lawmakers openly feel like this entire issue is a waste of time.
To be honest, I'm embarrassed for the Republican majority wasting the committee's time on so-called investigations. This entire endeavor is nothing more than a political stunt hatched in back rooms so extreme MAGA Republicans can exert power over the speaker.
Oh, there it is. Extreme MAGA Republicans, they throw that in whenever they can. People like me are sitting here wondering why we can't shut this thing down tomorrow morning. It's been done before. I mean, hell, we're paying millions of dollars to build walls in other places like Oman and Jordan and some others I can't even find on a map. Our tax dollars are doing that. There's sections of the border wall sitting there rusting into the earth, just laying down. But heavens forbid you stand them up, you're getting sued by Joe Biden's administration. This is getting ridiculous.